That was so cute. It's like Wall-E when he falls.
We're doing karate now.
Same though.
Yeah, so hello everybody, just waiting for everybody to come on and kind of getting this all together. As we are, I definitely want to let people know that we have a lot of cool stuff coming up. We have our grand opening on June 29th. It's a Saturday. Time is to be determined. As well as we have a lot of great workshops coming up as too. We have our psychic development workshop that's led by Izzy. That's going to be every first Sunday of every month. And actually this Sunday I'm going to be leading a guided meditation. We're going to journey to the sacred flame. That's going to be exciting. August 10th, we have an exciting private concert scheduled for y'all at an exclusive location. So we want you guys to come and hang with us. And we have some great storytelling, folk musics, refreshments, drinks as well. That we're going to go ahead and open up to ages 16 and older to just allow everybody to come connect, commune, and love each other.
Yay.
So, okay, cool. So, hi, I'm Mama Santee of Mama Santee's house, and I'm here with my friends.
Hi, I'm Kristin Joy.
Hi guys, I'm Izzy. Nice to meet you all.
Yes, and today we're going to talk about awakening, spiritual awakening. We're going to talk about what happened to us, what we went through, and some things to consider. And also, we're just going to chat it up because we're friends and we love talking about this stuff. Also, if you guys would like to talk about this stuff too, please comment or send us a DM. This is what we're all about, you know. Let's talk about the weird. Let's really dive in and get to it. There's a lot of awakening happening right now, and a lot of people are like, what is this? What are these numbers? What is astrology? What is energy for real now? You know, lots of things are happening. So I think that unless you guys want me to start, somebody else take it away.
Yeah, also to add, maybe it's not to make it too confusing or complex, but the earth is also awakening it.
Oh yes.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
We can talk about that as we continue. But what is awakening to you?
Awakening to me is to become consciously aware of things unseen, as we were talking earlier. That is awakening to me. So my awakening, when people ask me about my spiritual awakening, I go straight to when I was a kid. My first memory, one of them is out-of-body journeying, I used to call it, or astral travel. I used to play like the floor is lava and not wake myself up, and I would just like hop around the room and like play and dance. I would go to the hills and run around and everything like that. And then also, I did, as a kid, I saw a lot of the unseen. I was like very in tune to that stuff. And then it just was always there growing up until in my 20s, I was like, nope, I was living by myself and I was scared. Because, things happening, like me, people coming to my house and leaving their ancestors. They're like, we know you can talk to us. Like, hey, I have a message for this person and stuff like that. So spiritual awakening. Also, for me, the older I get, the more aware I am to those little things, even, because it's like not just the spirits and the ghosts and whatever it is, but it's a broader aspect because there's many other things in different frequencies that are there as well. And I believe that we have our guides and our ancestors, our higher self, our angels, leaving breadcrumbs for us as well in the ways of course, numbers are a big thing right now, or even little bits of like a feather on the ground, a smell, or whatever it is. So as we grow older and we come back around, or we awaken more and more and more.
Spiral.
Yeah, this spiral up, right? We start to see how these puzzle pieces or these breadcrumbs are actually puzzle pieces to who we truly are inside, you know, and what is really going on at a soul level. So that's, I mean, there's so many things that happen to me. I think another thing to bring up that just came into mind also is I almost died when I was a toddler. And I remember that too because I heard someone say to me, go get your mom. And I couldn't breathe. I used to have asthma as a kid. And my parents were playing cards in the kitchen. And I just went out to my mom and I tapped on her and I passed out, woke up in an oxygen tent in the hospital. Nobody could touch me. I remember everything. My grandparents used to have a foreign exchange student named Luca who came, and he was cool because he used to have these, and it was in the 80s. So I don't know what kind of weird little, like a Game Boy it was, but it wasn't a Game Boy at first, not yet. But yeah, nobody could touch me. So that, I think trauma plays a big part in awakenings also. And yeah. So for me, I went through a lot. And then there's the many different awakenings because, we awaken to the fact that we have free will. And so, when we come to that fork in the road, we have that choice. Are we going to continue the path? Are we going to go this way or whatever way we choose? We're still going to get to where we're going. However, our choices make a big impact on our lives and our awakening and which way we go through that awakening. Even if we're choosing bad or wrong or whatever, we're still getting those breadcrumbs as puzzle pieces and still awakening and, putting things in our medicine pouch along the way. So, yeah, I feel like a lot of things to consider would be just that, using it as breadcrumbs and just, even though it doesn't make a lot of sense, just, writing it down or taking a mental note because it will make sense. Time really doesn't exist, so it could be in 5 minutes the sense comes through or, in a few months or whatever it is. But just, I feel like also trusting your instincts and trusting yourself has a lot to do with it as well. So you're not giving your power away as you're awakening and getting stuck in that cycle or even the pedestal type. Oh, this person is going to help me make sense of all of this. Which isn't true because we make sense of it ourselves. The people just help us along the way, they're a piece in our puzzle also, Does that make sense?
It does.
Perfectly.
Sweet.
And I feel like, too, as you start down your, spiritual awakening paths, things start, when they start to make sense, is like, whoa. Do they ever make sense? And you start to get a better understanding the more little puzzle pieces that you start to collect. Did you have anything else that you wanted to?
Oh, I'll hop in. Not yet. I don't know.
But you had a lot of really good information in there. But for me, I feel like we're always awakening.
Yes.
It's not, I think there are some people that do experience
Boom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like an instant, Eckhart Tolle
holy
talks about.
cow.
Yeah.
Coming to Jesus moment.
Yeah. Where it is just such a huge paradigm shift and you were a completely different person the day before to the next day.
Yeah.
I don't think that's most people's experience. It was not mine. For me, it's been a very gradual series of aha moments. And learning, I've always been a seeker of knowledge, so I think that has been really helpful for me. I'm always trying to understand why, and I've always been drawn to the ancient practices and things from around the world. But so for me, it's just been awakening to the unseen, the unknown energy.
Or the not talked about.
The taboo.
The taboo. Ooh, I'm hot.
Yeah.
That made me hot.
But what that's looked like for me on this journey that I've been on is mostly signs and synchronicities. Seeing things outside of myself that correlate with thoughts or, bigger intentions or things that I'm working towards in my life, and really working also to reframe the language around what I'm experiencing. So it's really transitioned for me from questioning what I'm seeing to accepting what I'm seeing, and then knowing what I'm seeing, knowing that it is spirit, and using your discernment to understand it. Now it's like, okay, going around the spiral, I've gone through that cycle of all those things. Now spiraling up, I'm going back through kind of the seeking of in terms of like discernment. So now I'm accepting, okay, spirit's talking to me through this medium, through a TV show, through a song, through signs, like literal signs on the side of the road, license plates, numbers. I mean, spirit moves through all things. That is, who sings that? System of a Down. So much truth in that. But spirit is in all things, and then, accepting that, and then starting to go back through in my discernment, knowledge seeking. Okay, is this a guide? Is it my higher self? Is it an ancestor? So that's kind of where I'm at in this process of this current awakening, and constantly for me reframing thoughts, words, actions. They're all so super powerful.
Yes.
And a really great example that I'll share just yesterday, and this stuff is happening constantly, and it's dependent upon how open you are to, again, accepting that the car that just passed you has a license plate that says food on it and you're hungry. It's like, how is, spirit talks to each of us. It's very individualized, and that's why it's really important to learn to connect with yourself and your own energy. Know thyself.
Yeah.
Instead of, asking someone else, like, what does this mean? Doesn't mean that you can't do that, because it definitely helps in the beginning, going through all this to help someone get you to that point of accepting and understanding. But yesterday I was going to be quote unquote late for an appointment, and I don't like being late, and I like being on time or early, and that wasn't going to happen. So I asked Spirit, I just said, can you help me be on time? And then traffic happened, and I wasn't able to be on time. So I said, okay, well, can I at least be there before the person that I'm supposed to meet? And like that makes me feel better. So, and this is just such a great example of how faithful Spirit is, and how they talk to you, and they are listening. Within a couple minutes, I got a text from the person I was meeting who said, hey, I'm getting gas. I'm going to be there, in 20 minutes. You'll probably beat me there. And I'm just like, thank you guys. And then on the backside of it too, I think being thankful and grateful is a huge and very important piece of this too. When you're shown these signs and synchronicities and you're hearing from spirit, take time to say thank you and show gratitude, and acknowledge them. And I think for me, some things to consider when you are either starting out or just going along this path is avoid anyone who is their feelings. If you don't feel, if being with someone who's trying to help you doesn't feel good, your body is trying to tell you something. Listen to that. But anyone who doesn't help you, point the finger back at yourself in a loving way. And that is one of the things I'm super grateful for Mama Santee about is not only does she say that, but she practices it. And, she holds this space to help us come to ourselves. And that's really it. Find
the path within.
Guides, mentors, practitioners that help you come back to yourself and help you explain that too, because I've worked with some people who, just, tell you what to do, but there's no explanation, and that's really not helpful. So that's
beautiful.
That's all I got.
I love
for
that.
now.
I love that.
It's amazing. I had the opposite experience. I did have a boom. I was very external, so everything was happening to me, right? Versus I'm happening to life. And I had a dream with a deity. The deity woke me up, was very upset that I wasn't listening. And from there, that was at least 4 years ago now. So it was a big boom for me. But exactly what you guys said, to me, it has felt like neural pathways opening up. I've actually even felt heat on my head as things are connecting, and it's exactly what you guys said. It's coming back to self, and it's important to have the right people around because they do help create your reality. So to me, in the beginning, it felt very external, my connection to spirit. Oh, I see a spirit there, right? I see a deity there. Everything was outside of me. I heard them outside of me. And then everything started to come from within. I started hearing them in me, and I started, it still sounds like me in a way, but I can tell that it's them guiding me, right? And so I think it's beautiful to see how we evolve, how we shift from things outside to things coming from within. The connection I have now to higher self is the most beautiful thing I've ever experienced. She's constantly guiding me. My guides are constantly guiding me. A silly example is going somewhere like, I know this is not going to be very healthy for me, food-wise, and spirit saying, turn here. And me being stubborn, knowing that it means like, go home, and right, don't go there. And listening to that, and there's just a sense of relief that there is a part of you that is always loving, always truthful, and absolutely listen to it. And that takes practice because, again, it is the knowing oneself. It's trusting. When I do readings, that's the first thing people ask. How do you know which card to pick? And we're all so different, right? And to me, it's just, I trust. I trust that if I hear stop, I stop. I trust that if I hear I have to say something to the person, I am mindful of how I communicate that, right? Just because not everybody is, I meet people where they are. Because I know what that's like to not be ready to hear something or to struggle with change. And so I think also as healers or as practitioners, it's important to meet the person where they are because it can be really detrimental to the other person. They're still not understanding their connection to spirit, right? I always see spirit very much like the side of love. I see two major energies in the world, right, which is fear and love. And so I feel like the choices that we make really can stem back to both of those emotions, energies, and the more that we walk in love, the more it feels aligned. The more we come from fear or attachment, the more it kind of feels like maybe we're not so happy. right? We're not as aligned. I was taught from a very young age, I was raised Catholic, that, everything has a meaning. Like, everything happens for a reason. Everything is destiny. And what I've come to find, but, we also have free will. So that was one of my big questions growing up. Wait, so do we have destiny or do we have free will? Like, which is it? And I have found through my work that it is both. That we have these mile markers in life that, like, before we come here, our soul wants to experience. So if Earth is a school and we want to take these classes, those are the lessons. But the question is, are you late to class? Do you excel in class? Do you ditch the class? Who are you hanging out with in class, right?
That's beautiful, right? Yeah.
And so that's why when we meet certain people or things happen in our life, we feel this fate, this destiny moment. It is because we are in alignment. Yes. Yeah. For the lessons. Wow. That we wanted, right, right, that we wanted to learn. But again, most people can spend most of their lives repeating the same class, right? And so that's where I see the balance of both. The free will is the choices in between, right? And then the destiny is those mile markers that we have. Because in regressions, I swear, people will sum up a whole life in one word. Well, what did that life mean to you? Love. What did that life mean to you? Freedom. If we really condense it into something
simplify.
Exactly.
Simplify. Exactly. Keeping it simple.
Exactly. Because it is simple. It is. People are, I think, so afraid to make mistakes. Am I in the right job? Am I doing the right thing? I promise you, if you find that connection to self, you can't go wrong. Even if you make mistakes, if you do the bad, if you do the good, because they're just opportunities. That's the reframe. They're just opportunities to grow and learn and love yourself more.
Right.
Yeah. Find the lesson in everything. Find the positive in all of it. Can I share a quick?
Oh my gosh, please.
Yesterday, I was with a friend, and we were putting a log across a creek, and he grabbed a different log and pushed it over, and I just watched it. Time very much slowed down. I watched this log fall towards me in slow motion, and it was just a tidal wave that just smashed me in the face and got my whole body wet, and I laughed. Me 10 years ago, I would have been pissed. 'Cause I mean, you can always find something to complain about. You can always find something to be grateful for. So that has been a big part of my reframing work in the last 10, 15 years. And so at this point in my life, when that happened, I was cracking up. He felt terrible. And I was like, you know what? There's so much sand on my face right now. It's a really great exfoliator. It's perfect.
Yes. Natural.
And it's like, just accept what is.
Because that's it.
That it happened. So either you're not going to change what happened. So either you can choose to feel good about it, or you can choose to complain about it and feel bad. So if the event is the same, no matter how you feel about it, feel good. Choose to feel good.
Choose feel good.
Yeah. Exactly. And have fun. And it's love cookies. And then I feel like following that path is, the universe is always saying yes to us. So when we are in that higher vibration of joy and laughter and fun, the things that unfold from that event are beautiful.
Yep.
The universe is going to respond to you also. If you're complaining in a low vibration, it's going to send you more of that low vibration. So I would rather have...
Would you say the universe, meets you where you're at?
Oh, yeah. It's a giant mirror. Put in your order. That's manifestation. What are
put
you
in your order. I love that.
Exactly. Because you can say, these are the things I want in my life. But I think that's important, too. I don't think people stop enough to ask, why do I want this in my life?
That's the key.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And can we talk a little bit about that? Because you had mentioned, vibrational alignment. I was just thinking about this morning, and when you do this work too, you start to clear out so much of your space, and when you come in more to your own energy, you can start to sense it and feel it in others. So when you have someone who is maybe saying high vibrational things and wanting to manifest, yet they live their life from a place of fear or lack, there's a huge disconnect. And people who do that are like, well, why am I not, money is so huge, right? Why am I not manifesting money? I'm saying all my affirmations, I'm doing all these things, but you're still living from a place of fear. And that is the vibration that the universe responds to. So they're going to keep, it's the intention behind it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how many crystals you have, how many candles you have, how many petitions you've written down, right? What matters is, do you believe, A, that you're worthy of it? B, what does that look like? It has to feel. The universe understands energy.
Yeah.
And so if your energy is one of fear, but you're right, it's the same concept as, well, I prayed a lot to get this job. Okay, but did you apply to jobs? Oh, yeah.
You got to do the work.
Exactly. You have to do the work.
For every action, there's a reaction.
Exactly.
And
you got to put out the energy. What kind of energy are you putting out is what you receive.
Yeah.
As
within. What's the true intention why you're doing something?
Yes. Yeah, what's the intention behind
it?
That's why simplification is like very important, because you follow it back to the intention. Yeah. What's the energy behind it? What's the intention behind it?
Yeah, the energy, the intention behind it is what's going to be responded to.
Yes.
So if you, I just lost it.
No, that makes sense. Intention is healing. That's another thing, guys. I say this quite often. Like, I want to heal. I've been saying it for years. Healing is uncomfortable. Can we all agree? Like, it's not, I think there is this concept online of healing being like, oh, I'm so aligned. Oh, I'm so happy.
Butterflies.
Yeah.
And cherries.
Exactly. And rainbow and unicorns. I'm so aligned. But
and that's part of it.
It is.
That's
the
yeah.
I feel like that's the benefit of going through the hard stuff, that people don't want to talk about the hard stuff.
Yes. The uncomfortable.
Yes.
Yeah, but also, like, you can't fill a cup that's already full. So if you are still, like, holding on to all of these emotions or fear or whatever it is, or but this happened this way to me, so, you know, but I'm manifesting and I'm doing it. I don't know. But then, you know, what I hear coming through is, like, practice makes perfect. Like, everything's a practice. So we're just, the affirmations and everything would be like a practice. I get up in the morning, I do my daily meditation, affirmations, my rituals, everything like that. So I'm practicing. And then we get uncomfortable, so we have to simplify and follow it in. Like, why am I not receiving what I've been manifesting? And then we got to follow it in and simplify it some more to find out, oh, well, I haven't, like, integrated this. So what is integration? Well, it's looking at this shadow aspect of self, or this uncomfortableness, or this hurt, pain, grief, whatever, fear, because it always usually goes back to fear, as you were saying, and then knowing that, oh, okay, that's why I honor that part of myself. Right. That's the first step to integration. To
it
really
just wants to be seen.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
That goes back to trauma. I think so many of us sometimes we miss that point of when we're doing healing work. Is I think people think like, oh, I don't like that aspect of myself. There's guilt, there's shame with that aspect, right? And it's the opposite. It's how can I love that aspect? I feel like there's a lot of healing and trauma in that way. We have all had things happen to us. And forgiveness is incredibly difficult. I always tell people, I'm not asking you to forget. But when we keep those emotions inside of us, right? When we allow them to rot and fester inside of us, there's not a whole lot of space for beautiful things to grow, right? And so when we forgive, that opens up a space for us to have more love inside of ourselves versus rot and fester, and that's trauma, right? Yeah. It's working through it. It's embracing that shadow aspect. It's loving it, even though it hurt.
And something that helped me as I was working through, some childhood wound stuff, it was helpful for me to imagine that, that, 5-year-old girl that this traumatic experience, like you just said, like, I'm ashamed of, that. But if you imagine your little 5-year-old self sitting, next to you, and would you ever say those words like, I'm ashamed of you? That's super, super hurtful. So that really helped me to feel what that little girl, what I was putting on that little girl was like, ugh, get away from me. I don't want to deal with you. And so many chills. And kind of embodying that little girl again, and like, what does that make you feel? It's so hurtful. And then working towards it just was really helpful for me to kind of embody that feeling, to not forget about that part, that little girl. And it helped me to change that inner talk to her, and be a lot more loving. When I would get annoyed and I'd be having like an adult tantrum, like that's my little girl. So taking some time and like really envisioning her, being annoying at my side, and asking her, she just wants attention. So what do you want to do? Like, maybe I need to put down
it's like
my adult stuff.
Seen,
Yeah.
She just wants to be seen.
Yeah.
And,
Like,
This is spiritual awakening. It's consciousness.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which you wanted to, spiritual life, living a spiritual life.
Yeah.
Would you guys say this is it? It's being conscious?
Being mindful.
Yeah.
It's like mindfulness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Conscious, being aware of consciousness.
Yes.
It's a 24/7. It's for me, it's monitoring every thought. It's correcting, again, apparently a lot happened yesterday. I was talking about something that I'm manifesting, and I said out loud, also knowing how powerful my words are, that's going to take forever. And I said, no,
it's not.
No, wait. And I correct myself. Like, no, it is coming in now. It's coming in this month. And, it's that constant awareness and being conscious of what you're thinking, what you're saying, what you're speaking out. And I think that is really helpful when you really start accepting and acknowledging when you're seeing stuff outside of you being confirmed, your thoughts being confirmed, your speech being confirmed through people that you talk to, YouTube videos, anything that's kind of coming into your space.
Yeah. Sweet.
Would you guys say that there are spaces that can allow for spiritual awakening, places like Sedona?
Yes, where you go and you're just instantly whoosh. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, definitely.
And I think a great example is I was talking about Sedona an hour ago with Mama Santee.
And then here's
and Izzy didn't know about that conversation.
So it's a go.
So Sedona it is.
Sedona it is, yeah.
But yeah, I think absolutely spiritual places really help to open us up energetically.
And align or clear and align the channels.
Even if we're not like conscious or aware of that piece.
It's a special place that opens you up.
Yeah, it still happens.
Speaking of that, so something that I think is really fun to talk about is 2 or 3 years ago, I've only painted one painting in my life. I know that's a
This is a great story, guys.
Yes. And it's again, seriously, one painting in my life. I think I was in 6th grade when I did one and my mom finished it.
I would add them into the video.
I know. We'll have to post them later.
Yeah, we'll post it later. Yeah. Yes,
so
definitely.
I painted this painting, and at the time, I'm going to describe it the best way I can, but it's earth, and I did it in a white light. It's all space all around it, and then there is the Norse runes around it. Why I did that, I don't know. It just looked pretty at the time. I'm serious, really. And then I meet this beautiful woman 2 years later. She has the pretty much same painting in her house where it's just this orb of white light. There's space around it. There's branches. And I don't know why, but in that moment that we both saw that painting and we were talking about it, I went, oh my gosh, it's Mother Earth's call. It's Gaia's call.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what you mentioned earlier about how it's not just us that are becoming consciously aware,
Mm-hmm.
it's Mother Earth. And I really want to talk about the rise of the divine feminine
Let's
because
do it.
it is happening everywhere.
Yeah. Oh,
Everywhere.
yeah.
Can I?
The
I
earth-
heard this. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go.
Okay.
I'm just like
Right.
throwing words
Right.
in. I'm excited. I'm pumped.
I know.
Let's go.
We're going. We're going. So
To the
I just
moon.
heard something.
Literally.
I heard something this morning, and it was, I guess, an analogy, but I'm a very visual person, so it makes so much sense to me. They were saying that Earth is going through its ascension process, Earth is awakening, and the 8 billion of us are like cells of Earth. We are Earth, we are her.
Sorry,
She is
that
us.
hit.
And it's so imperative that we all start to awaken with her. Because it's like, if you think about the body and all of the billions of cells in our body, if we have just a single cell, like, I don't need to do that.
Right.
Right. They all work together. All of our cells work together
Yes.
without any like, no, I'm a neuron cell. I don't need to help the liver.
Yeah. Micro to macro.
Yeah. So that was beautiful, and that's helping me to visualize and understand how the earth is
We're all waking
ascending.
up.
Yeah, because also, so what's happening right now is, we come from a time when we lived with the earth, we worked with the elements. We are supposed to be doing these things, working
Connected with
together.
her.
Yeah, we're a collective. We are a people of earth, That's what we're here on earth, with earth, for earth, about, And so now, since we've been a lot of the cells of earth, a lot of us earth waking up and really mean to her,
Yes.
and we're like polluting the oceans, air, like everything we're doing, just consumerism, like
Deforestation.
right? And so now she's like, hey, let's shake things, shake things up.
Yep.
Shake it up.
Because
Vibration
we're
wise.
all awakening. It's time
Yeah.
to wake up.
Sometimes
It's time
literal.
to get back. Go within. Going within. We're going within the mother. We're going within ourselves.
Exactly.
We come from the mother, so we need to take care of the mother because we go back to the mother. Like
Exactly.
like
It's cyclical.
Yes.
yes.
Nature.
And we are a part of.
Yes.
We are not separate then.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
Separate too.
I think
We are
that's
not separate.
something we're together. I think
Like
that
this.
is something that happens in spirituality where a lot of us find that maybe, let's go there, we're not from Earth.
Yeah.
Or our souls have just experienced, yes,
Yeah.
other moments, other phases, right? And it's easy to forget that we are Earth, we are human in this moment.
In this
and
life. Yeah.
Yes, and this is what matters.
Mhm.
We get lost in the, well, I was right?
Yeah.
No, but you are this now.
That's why the practice of being present is super important in your spiritual awakenings or in your
Yes.
times of working through the shadow or
Being
working through
grounded.
integration. Yeah, just so we can pull it back. Oh, I'm here now. This is where I'm at now a lot of the time. And, and so just really appreciating that, appreciating where we are, where we come from, but
Right.
where we are now is incredibly important.
We'll never be here again.
Right. We'll
In
never
this
be
place
here
and time
again.
and space.
Or here. No.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh no, she's gone.
Oh my god, so is it okay if we, because I want to talk about like the glitching or the shifting.
Yes.
Because the shift is real, like, there's a lot of people talking about it nowadays about glitching, and that's almost the best way to describe it. So yesterday, because I know that I am shifting onto my highest timeline and everything. So yesterday I get in my car and I'm freaking gonna go home for lunch. I was here all day and I get in my car and I'm pulling out of the parking lot. Look at the time, it says 5:00, but it was like 1 something. I was like, 5:00? Oh, maybe my car died. And as I'm driving it. And then I was like, oh no, it would say 12. Why is it 5 right now. And then the dashboard, and not the car, the dashboard and my radio screen or whatever turned off and turned back on in real time. And so I was like, should I pull over right now and call my friends? I was like, no, I need to just go home and relax for a second. I was here, but I was like, okay, so that's a glitch, you know? And then just like serious, like weird glitches like that. I had to call my husband.
And that's also
I'm
how
like,
spirit talks to you.
yeah, 5. And so it was telling me that I'm changing. 5 is the number of change.
Literally.
You literally shifted in that moment, you know? So I was like, okay, I'll take it, you know?
Yep.
So.
And
Yeah.
I feel like people, I mean, that's a great example, kind of what I was talking about earlier too. Always, like, you live in spirituality. You live a spirit-led life, and people who don't yet would look at that situation and be panicked, or you know, like, go to an auto body shop, and then that trajectory just takes you in a completely different way versus
lack of trust.
What you did.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So
or
back
your
to
brain
glitching.
your brain goes to, oh, maybe there's
an electrical issue.
an electrical issue with the car.
Right,
However,
yeah.
it's a Toyota and nothing ever goes wrong.
Literally.
But I think that's a really great example of living a spirit-led life.
Absolutely.
That's cool. I like that. Thank you for saying that.
You're welcome.
Because I like to think that I am definitely spirit-led. Because if spirit says to do something, I'm gonna do that. You know, I'm gonna do that. Yeah. So ever since I was little, but the glitching, I don't even know what else to call it, because it's almost like you know, like this. You know what I mean? Like that, or like. Right.
Yeah.
It's like, and I feel like everything is happening fast now because it's time to get it together. Yeah. You know, it's time to get it together. It's time to awaken and realize, hey, those really aren't out for your best, highest good. Hey, the systems do not work, and what can we do about it? Right. Hey, it's time for me to go within myself and advocate for my health and my well-being. You know, if something's not working, let's change it. Right. To bring in something new, because you know maybe that could work. And I was talking to one of my friends the other day, and they were saying too, like, you know, they were talking to their partner, and if they would just do what they said they were thinking to do, hey, I think that we should plant some trees here or whatever, and if we act upon that, then those trees would be 5 years old or whatever. But still, we're like thinking about it for however long, you know?
Right.
And action. So, I think with the awakening too, it's kind of like the shift for us, things to come in. Hey, are you going to act upon this? Or are you still going to be in limbo a little bit? Like, what is it going to take?
To that point, I drew out, again, very visual. So when I've got these, like, aha moments and concepts and things, I like to figure out how to draw it to help me make sense of it. But along with what you were saying and what we're talking about, our ascension along with the earth, and then things moving so much quicker, how I see it is, you know, if we're at this point right here, and we've got free will, earth is ascending no matter what. So Earth's trajectory is going like this. And if you choose not to do anything or keep living the way that you are and not ascend along with, your trajectory kind of goes like this. And how I see it is you've got this giant Y, right? And then we're at these points now, there's a big gap between where you're at versus where ascension is going on. And it's not that you can't get over here. Right. It just is going to take maybe longer or more effort to do this versus when you're at this point right now when all of this stuff is kind of happening. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes. I have a question, what do you guys think? Okay, so like do you think that there are like even like guides or beings or, you know, other things out there that are like, wait a minute, you're taking too long, let's hurry this up or something?
Before you finish the question, yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
immediately
for sure.
I think of what happened to me in 2017 or whatever.
Mm.
I actually I did preventative surgeries starting in 2016 because I did preventative surgeries for cancer. I had a total hysterectomy and a double mastectomy with reconstruction. And I started having visits like of, beings, interdimensional beings, I call them, or extraterrestrials or whatever. But I started having visits that started getting weird. And then in 2017, I was taken. I don't like to call it abduction because I think that I am a part of the team. But I feel like something had happened because I went ahead and chose to go forth with the surgeries.
Yeah.
And so then they were like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
You're let's wake you up now or something.
Yeah.
Even more to, even though back in 2017, it was really hard for me to research what was happening to me because even in 2020 they visited again. And then I don't know how to explain it. They I've had so many visits, and like ever since I was a kid, and it's almost like boom, boom, boom. Like you gotta come online.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
And I don't know that it happens maybe to everyone like that, but maybe people who have or more aware and conscious and who have really big destinies. It's like you're here to do something big,
right?
And
hurry
so
up,
Wake up.
we need you to get going,
let's
and you're not
get you
going at the right pace.
Which is, thank you for saying that too. It's really cool because for me not to find the people in 2017 and having to meditate and see what comes up on the inside and just journal about it.
Right.
And then come 2020 till now, I'm finding all this confirmation of everything I journaled. Ever since even as a kid, man, I lost all my journals too because I ran away from home. So like Amishes and like spread across the U.S. and like Goodwills and stuff like that probably. But
To answer what you said for sure, because the way everything started for me was Anubis in a dream, and he was mad. He was mad.
Like, hello,
He's
little
like,
missy.
Yeah, absolutely. He was mad in the dream, and when I woke up, I was like, I'm going to research Anubis. I don't know why, but I'm going to. And I want to go there because this is that space to go there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So,
And this was what happened to you.
yes, absolutely. This was my spiritual awakening. So, I have always been obsessed with Egyptian mythology. If any of you are, amazing, talk to me. But,
Hi.
yeah, literally. So, since I was a kid, and of course, to me, they've always been seen as gods, deities, right? And in my walk with Anubis, one day he goes, by the way, we're not from Earth. It freaked me out. I put away my statues. I was like, I'm going to become a good Christian girl. I was scared. And then as things started unfolding, it just made more and more and more sense. So, can people visit? For sure. Will they push you and guide you because you're meant for something? Absolutely. That's just my story. Like, he absolutely woke me up, and then all the other deities started coming through Sekhmet, and you guys know this, she's my biggest guide. She's the one that's like, get off on this street. She's the one that's like, no, enough. Like, she is what I would call harsh mom in such a great way, but I prayed most of my life for courage. I grew up insecure, people pleaser, all those beautiful things, right? Love her so much. And she has been the embodiment of courage and confidence.
Yeah, and that would be the reasoning behind it being harsh. You know, because it's like, that's what you're going to listen to.
Yes.
Do this now. And you're like, okay.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if she was like, go this way, maybe you would question yourself, hey, is this me?
Oh,
or,
for sure.
You know.
She started off that way. They all did because they understood where I was at. By the way, that's also something with guides. Yes, in the pagan community, yes, there's worship, of course, to the gods. I understand that.
Oh, can I say something
Absolutely.
really quick? Because I asked
Absolutely.
my dad, I was like, Dad, what does the word worship mean to you? And he said it means to honor. to him. So then I
Yes.
got over the worship word.
Yes,
Yeah.
because I started that way too.
Yeah.
Because when you're opening yourself up to this, a lot of where you go is the pagan community, the occult, because that's where these things are accepted to like understand about yourself, right?
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of in the pagan community worshiping the gods. I do this, I do that, I do this, rituals. And by the way, that's beautiful because that is honoring them. But my walk with them has turned less into worship and more into connection.
Teamwork.
Yes.
Mhm.
As they guide me, Donna said this. She was on the podcast last week. The gods need healing too.
Yeah, because the gods and the goddesses are beings. They are not gods and goddesses. They literally are people. That's
Thank you.
it.
Put
Thank
labels
you.
on it.
Them, they, those. Yeah. Well, we back in the past didn't know how to describe it, and so they were like gods.
To us, they look like gods because of what they could do.
Because we were
And
like
the technology.
"Oh," yeah, and the technology and everything like that.
Correct.
But the lingo, the language was just accepted and then passed down the line. I was wondering, I've been wondering lately. So we learn about Greek mythology and everything in high school and stuff. How come we don't learn about the Anunnaki? Because if the Greek, all these gods and goddesses and stuff are interdimensional beings from other planets and stuff like that, like how come we're not learning about like Enki and Lil and Ea and all that?
I didn't even
Because
know
it's a
who they were
pantheon.
until you.
I think that's just it. People, it's either buried because they don't want us to know,
Because
they don't want us to know about
them.
origins.
Oh, origins.
Our origins.
Also, how powerful we are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how powerful.
Manifestors, creators of this universe. Like, keep you dumbed down.
Sovereign.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So many goddesses are about that. It's sovereignty.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I love it.
I love it.
One quick
This is
side
amazing.
note that you reminded me of is, again, how powerful our words, thoughts, and prayers are. If you pray for courage, I had to learn this the hard way.
I know where we're going here.
You are not just going to wake up the next day with courage. You are going to be gifted situations and experiences that you need to walk through to become courageous.
Exactly.
So just start listening to what's going on in your head,
Yes.
and question your thoughts and your beliefs, because we are super
Question
powerful.
everything.
Everything.
Yes, I tell my daughter that she is in public school system, and she'll come home. I'm like, "What'd you learn today?" She'll tell me, and I'm like, "And what do you believe? What
do you
is
think?
your question? How do you feel about what you learned?
Mhm.
And I just keep telling her that's the question everything. Just because they say it is it?
Right.
Is that what you believe to be true?
I mean, we were taught Christopher Columbus,
Oh, that
founded
fucking
America.
blew. Oh, excuse my. Sorry.
No,
That blew my mind. I think I was like 18 years old when I found out he didn't. And I was like, wait, what? I was like trying to help somebody with their homework, and she was like, well, he didn't discover America. I was like, yes, he did. I'm all fighting with them.
Yeah.
And they learned, and I was like,
And that's how powerful, our beliefs are.
Yes.
We're told something by them,
those.
someone
They
that
those.
we've put
and they know.
into a position of authority
Yes.
Yes.
outside of
Pedestal.
ourselves, and we will fight. And that's so much of what's going on, right
Yeah.
now, is people believe stuff that others have told them so deeply
Yes.
Yes.
that
And
they
that goes back to spiritual gurus as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please be mindful.
Please be mindful.
If you have a healer, if you have a guide that is empowering and they return they return it back, and they return it back to you and they make it about you, you're with a good healer, a good guide. Because they've done the work. They understand it, right? And that's something Santee always does and taught us.
You guys. are
Yes,
the
it's
same.
about empowerment. So
Yes.
ask
Self-empowerment.
Yes.
Ask yourself, who is your authority?
Yes.
sovereignty.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And no hate to the church. I actually think church is beautiful.
Church
Me
is
too.
beautiful. I freaking love church.
I really do.
That's how I got started. Like as a little kid, I grew up Catholic as well, and I loved the church. I would cry. I would feel the spirit, and
Because it's a beautiful space.
I loved the rituals,
The intention
bells,
of the space is beautiful.
Yeah, I had no idea what they were saying,
Right,
but
but
I
you're
could
like, I
feel
love it.
the
Exactly.
spirituality there.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
Well, you mentioned it earlier. I think this is in religion, the difference between, like you're mentioning the pagan community.
Yes.
It's the difference of worshiping something outside of yourself and having a relationship with.
yes,
It's inside you. Like spirit is inside you.
Yeah, and nobody can tell you about your relationship with the divine.
Exactly. Your
No,
walk
you
with
have your own relationship
Exactly.
with God,
exactly.
the divine, your guides,
Exactly.
everything.
Everybody's walk looks different.
Yes.
Shout out to Cece. She taught me about this. Gus.
Oh my God,
right?
this is
So-
amazing.
So God, universe, spirit.
God,
His name is
universe.
Gus.
So, God, universe, source.
Yes.
God, universe,
Your-
spirit. Yeah.
Yes, your walk with Gus is
Gus.
your walk. And
Oh
it
my
looks-
Gus, Gus.
Yes, it's different for everybody. Something I think easily can happen is comparisons. Oh, I
Yes.
don't look like that, right?
We
Yeah.
do that a
Mhm.
lot.
I don't
we want
hear-
to compare. Yeah,
Yes.
ourselves.
Yes, and we put people that we admire on pedestals all the time.
Uh-huh.
Because we're learning, and at some point we realize like no one is above us, no one is below us, no one is ahead, no one is behind.
Right.
Everybody is where they're choosing to be.
Mhm.
Yes.
And,
And you're always met where you're at, I guess.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Exactly. So it's choice. If you no longer want to be in that relationship, in that business, in whatever that is, go. Trust.
Choose. Yeah, make a
Yeah.
decision.
Yes,
Make
action.
a decision.
I did. I quit.
Yeah.
She did, and she is thriving.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Indeedy.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really it's not work when you're following your passions.
That
You
and
know-
that goes back to intention.
Yeah.
Why are you doing
What you're
What you
these
do.
things? Is it because you're passionate about it, or are you doing it for money?
Okay,
Exactly.
can we talk about that
Both.
super quick?
Because I like money.
Yeah.
Money
It's still earned.
Money is not
You
bad.
still, yeah.
It's energy.
Yeah.
So something I was discussing with a friend yesterday was she saw tarot readers on TikTok. She was like, Izzy, how do you feel about this? Because they are making a lot of money and all they're doing is answering yes or no's.
Oh wow.
Right. So am I
pretty
gonna
cool.
go right? Like am I gonna go back to my baby daddy? Yes. And my thing is she asked me, how do you feel about that? And I don't know why I got pissed. I got very angry. Not because I told her immediately, get that bag because it is hard out there. Make your money, right? But at the same time, something that happens is in those moments, can someone connect to someone that quickly? Yes. But to me, I don't know why, but it's important that the person has clarity. I'm talking about this because of intention. So if I'm doing a reading for someone, my intention is I want them to have clarity. I want them to have hope. What is the intention that person has behind? I tapped into it. I'm sorry, I'm going to go there. It's money.
Mm-hmm.
So when choosing like your practitioners, your healers, your path, whoever is around you, their intention I think is incredibly important. Right? And so it's like,
why?
But
Yeah.
also looking at the other side of the table on that situation, the person seeking, what's their intention?
yes, is
True.
it instant gratification?
And so that's why they're finding vibrations
Yes, it is.
matching.
Exactly.
That those type of readers are always going to have an audience.
Exactly.
And your type of reading will always have an audience. You're just going to be met with people that have the same intentions.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so
the
true.
vibration, because we put out that frequency out there and we attract
Mm-hmm.
that. You know, we
Yes.
bring to us we meet people.
I love
there.
that. Okay.
Yeah, but no, I get it because that's why I mean, with me, I am different than that aspect. I don't really like the yes no questions because there's always that why.
Yes.
You know what I
Why
mean?
are you going back to your baby daddy?
Yeah.
Is it safe?
Yeah, you know.
Yes.
For me, it's just I don't know, and also I don't like people telling me what I can and can't do.
Right.
You know, so if somebody's like, no, I'm going to be like,
Well,
but why?
Exactly.
You know, you told me no, I'm going to go back then or whatever, and then I'm going to see why. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But, yeah.
That's just different levels
It's
of
just different. Yeah.
Yes.
people on their paths.
Yeah.
And that will serve them in some way or another too.
For sure. Maybe that could propel them towards something.
Hopefully not the baby daddy.
For real though. Right?
Yeah, those yes or no readings would be hard for me because I'm like,
same.
because
Right.
you know, because
Right.
the cat walked through the door.
Yes.
You know, like
But wait, there's more.
It'd be so hard not to pull more cards.
yeah, you're like, let me see why it's a no.
Exactly.
Like, oh my
But
gosh.
it wouldn't
exactly.
be because that person's intention is to make money. So they don't care.
So they don't care. Yeah.
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 Boom.
Which that's great. Again, it's hard out there. But I was just like, because
They're not for me.
That's
I get
why.
mad a
That's
lot
why.
too in this.
Because I feel like it gives a bad rap.
For us.
Yes, as psychics through the scientific community, we're scams, right? Through the religious community, we're evil. To most people out there in the world, we're weird, and so it gives a bad rap because they're yes.
That is the importance of the rise of the divine feminine.
Woo!
To
Circle
shine
back
light,
around.
to shine light, which
On
I think
the
we need
tricksters,
to do
too,
a totally
yeah.
different.
Because the divine feminine
Talk
is
about
more.
this.
Yeah, we have to do that. We should probably schedule a couple lives next week or
Uh-huh.
something. But like, you know,
This is
that
a big
divine
topic.
feminine, that healer, that nurturer, that
Yes.
you know,
Genuine.
And the
yeah,
rise
genuinity.
of the genuine, the
The
authentic,
balance, yes.
is going to
authenticity.
shine light on the
Truth.
false.
Yes.
True.
And that's not judgment. Like, the person can be authentic and perhaps have, decent intentions. Spirit's like, no.
no, it's funny.
But yeah, it's not coming from a place of judgment. It's coming from a place of observation.
Yeah.
It's just like you said, if people are going to go to those readings, they're looking for something very specific.
Mhm.
But yeah, it grinds my gears because I feel like people are misled in that way. Because people are looking for something, right? When we're awakening,
Mhm.
we're looking for
Yes.
answers.
That's why
Yeah.
it's really important for us to be on these lives
That's what I was
and to
just
be
thinking.
putting the information out there
Yeah.
so people are more aware, conscious and aware and awakened to that kind of thing,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
and that in itself is a lesson for them, you know.
Especially if you are just starting out and you are
Yes,
maybe
you're
in a more
lost.
low vibrational state
Mm.
and you are attracting things, you're going to start to maybe attract those yes-no tarot readers
Right.
or things that just, they vibrationally will align with you in that point in time. But as you continue to seek, it's important for things like this, for people who have been doing the work to help guide new seekers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They've walked the path and
Yeah.
are walking the path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Love it.
Well, that feels like
Great.
a good,
That feels
Good.
great. Oh my
good
gosh.
stopping point.
Yeah, so thank you so much for joining us. We love you guys so much. We hold so much love for the earth and for the people of the earth and everybody, you guys, all of you guys. Meet us again next
Next
week.
Yay! Rise of the Divine Feminine.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's
gosh.
what we'll be talking about next week. The rise of the divine feminine. What is that? What do we all think it looks like, feels like,
Yes.
tastes
Looks
like, smells like?
Delicious.
All the geraniums. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, the yellow. Goddesses.
Yeah.
Yes.
So good.
So thank you for joining us.
Yes.
We
you.
also post this up on Mama Santee's House YouTube channel. So go to YouTube and like the videos, subscribe. Also, we are open to comments. If you want us to talk about anything, please let us know. All right, thank you. The TikTok's like puzzle piece. Put the puzzle piece. That's so crazy.
Can you turn this phone to that one to show?
Oh yeah, so look at what happened. So we go live on TikTok and Instagram. It's all puzzle piece in the sky.
We're all each other's puzzle pieces.
Yes. So
Spirit says so.
bye. Love
Bye.
you. Bye.
And then that one's still going, yeah? the puzzle piece in.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
I'm like, I don't know why I had us do that. I think we're still live and stuff. Bye. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you.
Follow us and
Check out
stuff.
YouTube.
Check out YouTube. Peace.